She was working double shifts at a coffee shop just trying to keep her dignity intact. But then one customer crossed the line. No one said a word until he stood up and said something that made the whole cafe go silent. Before we begin, please hit the like button and subscribe to Kindness Stories. If you believe the world needs more people who step up and do the right thing, even when it's hard. The morning rush at Brewer's Corner in downtown Atlanta was always brutal. The line of customers would curl around the counter, phones glued to ears, barking complicated coffee orders like they were calling out stock prices. Amid the noise and steam, 22-year-old Ellie Martin stood behind the register, tying her messy ponytail tighter and forcing a smile that was starting to crack after 3 hours of nonstop orders. She was new to the city, barely surviving on tips and hourly wage, and too proud to call her mom back home in Kansas for help. Ellie had a softness about her, a voice that trembled slightly when she spoke too fast, eyes that seemed to hide a world of worry, and hands that never stopped moving, wiping counters, filling cups, restocking napkins. The regulars liked her, some too much, and that was becoming a problem. One man in particular, a guy everyone just called Mr. Gray Suit, came every day at 9:05 a.m. He always ordered a double shot espresso, and he always leaned too far over the counter when Ellie handed it to him. He'd hold her hand a little too long, ask if she had plans for the night, and when she didn't answer, he'd wink like it was a secret between them. Ellie had reported him to her manager, but James, the tired, underpaid manager, had brushed it off with, "Just ignore him, Ellie. He's harmless. Rich guy. Owns an office upstairs. Let's not lose his business." But he wasn't harmless. Every day, Mr. Gray's suit pushed the line of discomfort a little further, sometimes with whispers too close to her ear, sometimes with comments about her tight little apron, loud enough for nearby customers to hear. Most just looked away. Some chuckled. No one ever said anything, until the Tuesday that changed everything. That morning, Ellie had already spilled coffee on her jeans, sliced her finger on a broken lid, and forgotten to eat breakfast. Mr. Gray's suit walked in at the same time, flashing his self-important smirk. He placed his usual order and waited by the counter, eyeing her like she was part of the menu. Ellie tried to ignore him as she handed over his drink, but today he didn't just take it and leave. "Why don't you smile more, sweetheart?" he said loudly. "You'd make more tips if you showed a little skin too. That shirt is already trying its best." He chuckled and reached to tuck a loose strand of hair behind her ear. Ellie flinched and stepped back. A few customers turned. Her eyes stung, but she bit her tongue and muttered, "Please don't touch me, sir." "Oh, relax," he replied louder now. "Flirting's not a crime. Maybe you should be thankful someone like me even talks to you." The room tensed. Ellie froze. Her lip trembled, and for a second it looked like she might just walk out, apron and all. And that's when someone stood up. He had been sitting quietly at the corner table, laptop open, coffee half finished. A tall man in his mid-30s, wearing a simple gray hoodie and jeans. No one had really noticed him until he rose to his full height, walked right up to the counter, and faced Mr. Gray Suit head-on. "That's enough," the man said calmly but firmly. Mr. Gray Suit turned, amused. "Excuse me?" "You heard me," the man repeated. "Back off. She asked you not to touch her. You're harassing her, and I'm not going to stand by and watch it." The cafe went completely silent. Even the espresso machine hissed into awkward quiet. "You some kind of hero?" Mr. Gray Suit laughed. "You have any idea who I am?" "I don't care who you are," the man replied, "but I do know who she is, a human being, one who deserves to feel safe while doing her job." Ellie couldn't believe what she was seeing. For the first time, someone was standing between her and the shame she had to swallow every day. Mr. Gray Suit's face darkened. He stepped closer. "Careful, this is my building." "Great," the man replied. Then you'll know where the cameras are when I call the cops. That made Mr. Gray Suit pause. The man reached into his hoodie pocket and took out his phone. Want me to start filming now or later? The businessman huffed, glanced around the cafe, and realized people were watching, phones already halfway out, a few recording. Suddenly he turned on his heel and stormed out, muttering something about snowflakes and cancel culture. Ellie stood behind the counter, eyes wide, heart pounding. The man turned to her, his voice softening. Are you okay? She nodded. I think so. Thank you. Really? He smiled. You don't have to thank me. You deserve respect, not fear. Before she could say more, he handed her a card. My name's Daniel. I run a small digital agency. We're hiring admin support. Nothing customer facing. Just think about it. He walked back to his table, packed up his laptop, and left with a small wave. Just like that. Ellie stared at the card. She read the name over and over again. Daniel Hayes. The man who didn't know her, but still stood up for her. Ellie sat on her small mattress in her studio apartment that night, the business card still in her hand. She kept reading the words again and again. Daniel Hayes, founder, Anchor Pixel Media. Below it, his email and a small logo shaped like a lighthouse. Something about that spoke to her. She wasn't sure if it was pride or fear holding her back, but she didn't call or email right away. What if he was just being nice in the moment? What if he didn't mean it? 2 days passed. She kept going to work, avoiding Mr. Graysuit, who hadn't come back. But she also noticed something else. Customers now looked her in the eye, smiled more, and one even left a sticky note saying, "We saw what happened. You're brave." Finally, on a rainy Thursday afternoon, Ellie took a deep breath and emailed Daniel. Just a short message. Hi, Daniel. This is Ellie, the barista from Brewer's Corner. I don't know if you were serious about that job, but I'd really like to learn more. Thank you again for everything. Within 10 minutes, he replied. Hi, Ellie. I was absolutely serious. Let's chat over coffee, but this time as equals. My office has a cozy break room. Friday at noon? She showed up the next day, nervous in her best thrift store blouse. The office was small but warm, filled with plants and natural light. Daniel greeted her at the door with a gentle smile and a hot cup of tea. They talked, not just about work, but about dreams. Ellie told him about her love for writing, her unfinished college degree, her fear of being stuck in low-wage jobs forever. Daniel listened, truly listened, and when she was done, he said, Everyone starts somewhere. You've already proven you have strength most people only talk about. Let's build something better, together. He offered her the job, part-time to start, flexible hours, enough pay to let her quit the coffee shop. He even suggested paying for one online course a month if she wanted to pursue writing again. Ellie didn't cry, not then. But when she left the office and saw the sunlight breaking through the clouds, she smiled in a way she hadn't in months. Not because someone rescued her, but because someone saw her. And that changed everything. Months later, Ellie was thriving. She'd finished her first short story, submitted to a magazine. She decorated her small apartment with soft lights and framed quotes. And every now and then, she'd stop by Brewer's Corner, not to work, but to tip the new baristas, especially the young girls with tired eyes. She always told them the same thing. Don't let anyone treat you less than you are. And if they do, speak up. Someone will hear you, I promise. If you felt even a spark of hope reading Ellie's story, please like this video and subscribe to Kindness Stories. Because kindness doesn't just make good stories, it makes a better world.